Hello everyone. So first of all, my name is Abdul Rauf, and in this video we'll talk about user interface or UI. So basically, this will be our 10th video about the web development with Python playlist. So let's start our video. So basically, user interface is like when you go to some website and you see some UI or like the buttons or like the background background color or background image, the stuffs on these, for example hover, or the when you for example switch from laptop to mobile, the screen will change dynamically. So that's known as a UI, user interface. The designs basically, if you got some window, you see for example window inner height. So basically in javascript can retrieve these for example properties like window or window to inner height or window to inner width. If you use that, you can get some numbers for the length. So basically in the screen, for example, if a laptop have a screen that have a window have, for example, if you window is like a class, and if you go to inside the class, for example, to find the variable, you can use the dot command. Then you can see inner width, so that will show you the inner height and inner width of the screen. So basically this is known as a simple terms, a window. And then if you, for example, you are going, for example, window, you are, for example, you are scrolling up, or if you are scrolling down, you can use the scroll dot y or scroll dot x. And you can for example find the footer. You can use the document dot body offset height, so you can see the footer side. For example, when you are, for example, going below, and for example you have to sweep, or for example you have to manage, for the after 10 files the window will show other 10 folders, and then it will go and sweep below too. So that's why we use these type of windows commands, so retrieve information that we can use for our programming. So basically the programming we all already seen the imperative programming in the HTML and, for example, other stuffs. But there is a declarative programming too, like the React framework. You already know, or you might not do not know. React is JavaScript framework, so you might do not know, but it is very helpful framework because it use a declarative programming. For example, in the imperative program was this. For example, when you create a view, first you have to, for example, using HTML, for example, h1 will be a 0, and then you are using some JavaScript like let num. So this will this is the command of the JavaScript. We didn't learn that in this playlist, but JavaScript is also like the more important than Python in web development. But the advantage, because I'm also learning JavaScript. But you can see here, for example, let num. So this will be assigned the let num. The let means it will be constant, and then you can see I'm parse int document dot query selector h1. So I'm selecting the query of h1, and then I am, for example, changing the inner HTML. I can use dot inner HTML, so I can inner HTML. Then I am pressing that. For example, the inner HTML is 0. Then I'm num plus equal to 1. So it will increment by 1. Like in C, you can see use the C plus plus, so you can increment it by 1. But here you can use like in the Python plus equal to 1, so it will increment by 1. Then you can use the document dot query selector as 1 inner HTML so you can get the inner HTML. Then you assign that to the num. So the num will be 1. So it will change from 0 to 1. So you can use this, for example, is a simple program like counter. When you start counting from 1 2 3 4, you can use logic like this in the JavaScript. But it is very, for example, complex, and it is very looking very weird in the, for example, in the sequences or in the scheme, or for example syntax. So that's why we use declarative programming. For example, declarative programming, you simply use do that like you do in the programming language. First you use for example h1, and then you use the curly braces for the num or variable, and then you can assign as logic plus 1. So basically this is very simple than this. So that's why we use declarative programming in the React framework, and many uses the React framework because of that. Okay, so now let's see some code of this. So basically here you can see I'm animate frames. For example, I'm using the style have some 8 dot keyframe, so it will grow from size 20 pixel to 200 pixel, and then we will go back to the same length after 2 seconds or like that. So that's the animation we use. For example, user interface has some animation too. For example, when you go for some website where some have the for example animation of like if the size get decreases, the color will change, and like something is hovering here and here. This is the animation we use. That's why we use these keyframe. You have to learn it by yourself. I show some keyframes you too in the code. I will provide some link in the description of my code of user interface like I do. So yeah, after that you can use another element to, like, if you are using, for example, increasing from 0 and then 15, it will go to left, and then the 100 it will go back to the right, like that. This is the animation, simple animation we are using. I'm just showing you a code, I'm not showing you the result, because result is like the video, it is the animation. So you can see it by yourself by running it on your browser. This code, okay. So I will provide you this in the description. So you can see another, for example, when you are going from up to below, yeah, like you are scrolling from the website. If for example you are like, for example, you go to the 1 2 3, go up to the 100, or like that, and after 100 it will show green, but after 100 are complete, it will show the red. For example, this is the last one. So this is the animation 2 for the scrolling. Here you can see I'm using some JavaScript here, like script, like I have the JavaScript, some simple JavaScript, is not very hard. And you can see I'm also getting some window property which I already show, like window dot on scroll, so it will get me the properties of on scroll, and then I can use those for them finding some length or height. For them, here you can see I'm finding the width or the inner height, and plus window dot scroll y, so you can see the scroll y, and then you can see if it is greater than or equal to offset height, then you can use the red color, and if not, and you can use the color green color. Like first it will be a green color, and after some if the height is in the end, then it will show the red color, okay. So yeah, then you can see this too. For example, this will be like a single page and double page. For example, if you want your website to be on a single page, like it will be not linked to the another page, this will be on a single page. For example, if you you can use these button, for example, page 1, page 2, page 3. So for them you can create the functions like show page, where you can see if you want to show the user page 1 or page 2 or page 3, you can create the division divs for that. You can already know the divs, and you can show that basically based on the image or page the user want to show. See, this is the one page applications you can create, which are very complex but very simple too, because it will didn't take much time, like going to from one link to another link, and you can only create a single page from our things. But this is very for simple website. If you want to create a more complex website, you better should add some href or links, okay. So yeah, this was a simple intro about the user interface. You can discover more about this, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, probably the last video of this playlist. So yeah, thank you and bye.